Hey guys, welcome back to the Alleged Podcast on the Alleged Network. Zach just gave me the cue to go, so I guess it's ready.
Yeah, man, right. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. It's Tyler, Zach, and Humna.
Yeah.
We're here today. We haven't really let one of these podcasts out in a while, but
So yeah, this is technically our episode 50.
technically
We tried to make it a special episode, and it just didn't work out.
because we're not special.
We're not special. Well, we're special, but not in that way. But we tried doing a video podcast, and it just did not work out. And we had two guests on, and it was a nice podcast,
We
but
let them down.
audio issues, the video issues. It was a goddamn fucking nightmare. But we will have those people on eventually for some other episode. And yeah, we might call somebody today to talk about something.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
It's too early for him. It's 10:29 in the morning.
I believe so too. He might be the fucking ape, you know, fucking dragging his knuckles around his house. So you know what is he good?
I've never heard somebody describe an ape so accurately. A human one at that.
He's gonna listen to this. He's gonna beat my ass.
So,
God.
should we mention his name?
We're
won't mention
gonna
it.
call him up.
Yeah, we won't mention his name yet. But Zach told him a story the other week about me.
I told him two stories.
Okay, you tell
Two.
the audience about the first one.
The first, okay. Well, so actually we've had both of them on. I should just say their names. They've both been on the podcast.
Oh no. I don't. Oh no. Okay, so
Dude,
I
alright,
don't
listen,
think you should
listen.
mention names only because one of them, it's kind of lewd, and I don't know if you really want to go there with
Talking about
names.
Frank Perez and George Pineda. Now, here's the deal.
Oh no, I was thinking of somebody else.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one. Okay, just go ahead. Go ahead. I'll explain later. Go ahead.
I really have no idea what you're talking about.
Just
Anyways.
keep going.
Okay, so first story, because like I didn't know what the hell you're. What else would be a first story?
I was talking about the one where Humna shot me for reasons.
Yeah, but then there's another one before that.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was thinking of the second
Well, I
one.
guess technically there's three stories because of the one yesterday.
That one doesn't.
It kind of counts. It kind of counts. So, anyways, Frank Perez, our boy that we had on, I think, one episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
one
the Cringe.
episode.
He was actually on here with George Pineda.
I think that was like episode 7.
Are you serious?
Something like that.
God damn, fucking. All right. Anyways, that's so fucking weird. Anyways, so basically, I just did I call him up or did I? Oh no, me and you were in a car and I called him up. And I told him that him and George was telling me and you. George did not say this, but I was just saying George was saying that him and Frank are best buds and they do stuff together all the time and they're hanging out on the weekends and all this shit.
This is the made up backstory.
Yeah. And I told Frank this, and he's like, "Yo, dog, are you kidding me or what?" And then I think he ended up. No, I think I texted him that, and then I think he called me, and then I think I told him that George has pictures of him that he took outside of his house, and he was just like, "Bruh, you better not be playing with me. I want you to tell me the truth right now. You telling the truth of what?" And that's like kind of his whole gist. And then I think I hung up on him and never answered him.
Because he called me too.
And then we ended up calling him on the podcast. On the one that's not coming out. And then for like a while, he was like, "Yo, dog, what's it going up? What's it going up, dude? What's it going up?" He kept messing me that. And like I got annoyed by it. So then I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's never going up. Tyler's in the hospital. His girlfriend shot him." So, you know, all this stuff. And like he actually believed it. And then like I kind of pinned it on someone we know. And then he was going to like sick his people onto her.
He basically, and I assume it's an imaginary gang, or if it's a gang at all, it's probably just like one of his neighbors.
His
and
dad.
His dad.
And yeah, so I sent him that shit, and then I'm like, nah, I'm just playing with you. And then what was the other one I sent him? Was that the one I sent the other day? Yeah.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, I fucking I said, what did he say? Oh, I tried calling him, and then he was like, yo, dog, did you call? And I'm like, the fuck? No, I didn't. And I did. And I said, but Tyler died, though. And he's like, you goofy ass. And then I said, his funeral's on Saturday, but his body will reach the sun by Monday. You got a telescope. So yeah, so we'll probably try to call Frankie in a little while.
Yeah, that'll be maybe like at the halfway point.
Yeah,
we'll try something like that. Yeah. So before we get into our first thing here, how's school going for you?
I mean, it's going. It's going. I don't know. I mean, you know.
Are you excited for journalism today?
Fuck no. I actually wanted to start doing my thing. I haven't even started yet.
You're
the fucking homework assignment.
I'm probably not gonna do that.
I don't want to do it because I don't care enough. But like, it's 3 points practically because it's just she's asking our opinion on something.
Yeah, but you know how she is. Even if you give your opinion, she'll be like, "No, that's not right."
Yeah,
she's gonna tell you you're wrong because she's biased.
The thing that's super annoying about her is that she'll say no, that's wrong to something that's right, but it's only wrong to her in just one little aspect.
Yeah,
and then she thinks the whole thing is wrong.
Yeah,
I feel like we've talked about this bitch on our podcast. Like, oh my god, as we were just talking about Frank Perez, he posted something on my timeline on Facebook. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna take a good gander. Bro, I watched it. Lamo, my part funny as hell, cuz. Did you send him the podcast?
No, I didn't.
Bro, I watched it. Lamo, my part funny as hell.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Maybe
he's just talking about the podcast from way back.
I don't know. Bro, I watched it. Lamo, my part funny as hell. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
Well, we'll have to ask him when we call him.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Will have to ask him. That's like, I don't know. He wrote that on my timeline.
Yeah, that's
what the fuck? Anyways, I don't know if we talked about our journalism class too much, but I feel like all our English classes have been pretty trash, except speech. Speech was pretty dope. Our first class was shitty for like the first half. 101, that was shitty for a while. Then it got better towards the end. And then we had bougie fuck. And then now we have this bitch. And I want to fucking, put her next to a bunch of pins, throw a bowling ball at her, and fucking, I want to kill her. So, no, but for real though, I fucking hate her. And she's horrible at her job. I hope she gets fired.
She's not great. No, she's really not.
No,
and I have this running.
I did want to ask you, who do you think is worse, her or a cinema teacher at their job? Because even though I fucking hated our cinema class with a passion, I feel like I think I can say that. Okay, I think I enjoyed myself a little bit more in
the theater class.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just because of the classroom style. It was more of a theater style classroom, and I was all the way in the back, so I felt like I was bothered. This one's in an actual classroom where it's smaller and contained. So teaching wise, I think he was worse because I don't really think like
I didn't learn anything.
I think it's a lack of us actually listening to what she has to say.
I don't even think it's that, because whenever I do listen, it's just her opinion.
It really is, and I don't really like her opinion on a lot of things because it's very old-fashioned or just out of tune.
It's 100% out of fashion or old-fashioned. Because here's the biggest problem with her. I don't know how old she is. I'm guessing 50.
She's in her 50s.
If she's in her like early 40s, late 30s, she was doing heroin or something. I mean, she fucking acts like. I mean, she was a hippie.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got that vibe. Her pussy smells. It's that thing.
Well, I want to know. She was talking about last class how she was kind of like,
I live in the woods. So what, Mom and Dad?
I would go be a hippie. I don't care about school. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. Who the hell smacked her to be her to where she's at now?
No, nobody smacked her. That was a fucking problem. She's like this generation. She's uninformed and fucking stupid. If you're listening to this and you're our age, that's what you are. So anyways, I'm sorry.
No, he's not.
It's basically the truth, though. I mean, even, it's sad because even smart people today are fucking uninformed and stupid. And we can even attest to that because I would consider there is a corner in one of our classes where we particularly don't like these fucking people, but I do have a feeling that they are smart, textbook smart, but they are so fucking uninformed, it's unbelievable.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had a kid recently just fucking say, they still make TV dinners?
No, not even that. It's even worse than that.
It is even worse than
because the conversation where it's a history class, and we were talking about...
I didn't want to say what class.
Well, it needs context. We were talking about the 1950s and the 60s, and we were talking about how TVs came out, and then the addition of TV dinners, and this individual decided that it would be, he had no idea, but he asked, what are TV dinners?
Yeah.
And Zach and I both looked at each other like my brain just stopped working. Like I didn't know how to react.
Is this class or a game now?
And Zach had hatred.
Yeah.
As his first thought, and
also, I mean,
he wanted to kick some teeth.
Yeah.
Love you, babe.
See ya. But yeah, no, I fucking, God, and like I said, I guarantee you they probably have better grades than us.
They probably do.
I think as people, they're just so I really want to go to like a grade school for a day, a middle school for a day, and just see how they teach things now. Just to see everything. I want to be able to just do that, just because it's got to be fucking way different. And the thing that's weird too is that those kids are probably like a year to 2 years below us.
Yeah, I think they're only like a year or 2 years.
Now I get it that a 1 or 2 years at high school. I mean, because we basically, and I'm not saying we were in like the golden era of high school. I fucking hated high school, but holy shit, I would hate it more because you would have, from what my cousins have told me, from what people have told me, it's like liberal la la land.
Yeah,
and I don't look. I do bash liberals a lot, and it's because I do lean more conservative, but there is so much shit that they poison these fucking kids' brains with. They tell them you're a fucking. They tell them when they are donkeys, even when they're fucking donkeys, that they can be a unicorn. It's not fucking true. Not for everybody. If you are a donkey, you could be a donkey with a horn, not a fucking unicorn. Sorry, bub, but not everybody. So I mean, some people in this world are born to get fucked. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
What's that line from Shameless? They're the rich and
they're the fucked. Yeah, basically. And I think so many kids today, and I'm in all honesty, I'm part of the problem too. I want to do shit with involving the arts. I'm, in my opinion, I'm part of this fucking problem, but at least my eyes are open. And I can at least admit that what I'm doing is pretty fucking stupid.
Look,
but these kids.
This is kind of what this podcast is about. We sit here and we bitch and and we moan about the problems of the world, and we try to point out the stupidness.
Yeah.
And we try to let it out and give it to you so you can realize the stupidness too.
Yeah. So
but nobody wants to realize the stupidness.
So if you have a kid that at your school and he thinks he's a fucking unicorn, and you know he's a donkey or she's a whatever, or he or she or fucking Shmee or whatever the fuck, I don't know. Fucking just let that fucker know they're a donkey. Or they're a fucking, what do you call those little horses that none of the other horses ever want to fuck around? Never want to fuck around with them. According to that one Amazon commercial that we watched.
Take it out back and shoot it. Isn't it just a little pony?
Oh, yeah, a little fucker, yeah. Little pony. So, yeah, just let those bitches know what's going on.
All right. Well, that kind of leads into our first story. So if you don't like liberal bashing, it's only gonna get worse. So just keep listening.
Go out the outdoors. See it.
All right. So Zach brought up this guy. He's a psychologist, a clinical psychologist out of Canada, and he's also a psychology professor at the University of Toronto.
And he's what we would consider, with our politics, a traditional liberal. So this is somebody that I would actually respect because they have the right ideologies.
Right. And
I don't mean right as a conservative. I mean they're not pushing what I would.
They're realists.
They're not unbelievable.
Right. And he's got a new book. It's called 12 Rules of Life and some other.
I thought it was called Fuck Kumbaya, but never mind.
And he appeared on the Bill Maher show for what does Bill Maher do?
Well, Bill Maher just has, it's almost like a panel. He invites people on, and then he tells jokes. It's like a talk show, and kind of like a panel, and he brings on people on a political scene, people involved with political science, and all that stuff.
Right. So
it's very political.
So
you don't watch Bill Maher.
He was on the show, and they opened up with a video clip that kind of went viral. He was doing an interview with, I don't know what channel or news network this was out of, but all I know is it's called Channel 4 News, and so we're gonna play this for you. I gotta find it real quick. Okay.
Oh, is this a video that went viral?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play this for you. We're gonna play this for you, and you can kind of hear kind of what he believes right off the bat.
All right, he's embarking on a 40-city speaking tour for his new book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. Here's a clip from his Channel 4 interview that went viral earlier this year.
Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
Okay, so obviously, like, he like literally, like, as a psychologist, you kind of have the upper hand when it comes to, like, mind fucks.
Oh, yeah.
Because this guy just totally mind fucked the hell out of this reporter.
Well, she didn't know what to say after that.
She really didn't. And
I mean,
there's a whole half-hour interview that he does with this person.
Yeah, if you actually watch the clip, like the actual video version, not just listening to it, afterwards she looks down, and I don't know how much of the clip you're going to play for them, but she looks down, and she says something, and she looks down, and she goes, like she kind of like nudges her head, and then he goes, I gotcha.
Because she's probably like, I didn't even come up with that question. They told me to ask that question. Those fuckers fucked me.
Yeah, I think about that sometimes. Like when I watch like a Fox conversation or like a CNN, it's like when you see. I'm not saying all these broads that they have on, but a lot of them are hot, and it's like I wonder how many of them are really super involved in this. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee. I mean, you can't tell me that every fucking newswoman that's out there is doing it because they love politics.
Right.
They're probably making some big bucks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. He's here.
Who?
Your
Phil?
bud.
My bud?
Your bud. Hey. Do you want to come in? You want to come in? I don't know what he's doing.
Phil's here.
Phil's here.
What's up, Phil?
What's up, bud?
I saw you walking with your bag earlier. I was like, oh, they're doing a podcast.
Yeah. We started like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. I figured you guys usually take like 20 minutes to set up anyway.
I think that mic's already set up and going if you want to sit. Yeah.
So yeah, it's funny because I don't know if we told you this, but that other podcast stopped being uploaded because it just got fucked.
Yeah.
But now you're gonna be on the real. This is episode 50.
Real 50.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
50.
Nice.
So it's nothing special, but we're doing it because
Cool.
it's way too fucking long.
Yeah, the editing process sounds brutal.
Because it's been like a month and a half at this point
least.
since we've uploaded.
Yeah,
everything.
something. All right, Phil. So we were just talking about.
Do you want to play him the clip? Really
Yeah,
quick?
I'll play
He
you.
probably knows.
What are we
it
talking
is,
about?
but-
I'll play you the clip real quick. We're talking about this guy that
Jordan.
his name is
Peterson.
Jordan Peterson.
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So did you see the clip?
I didn't see if something's new's happening with him. No.
Okay. Well, I'll play it for you. Yeah. So
And she sat there quietly. And
yeah,
didn't know what to say.
she was like. Ugh.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So yeah,
Peterson's
we
the
were
man.
talking about that, and I mean, he's not wrong,
He's not wrong.
and I don't think she really thought that question through if she came up with
She
it.
just wanted to embarrass him, and he
Right.
was like, "Listen, it's fine if you want to make me uncomfortable. That's the point.
That's
That's the point of free speech. You got to make
right,
people uncomfortable."
exactly. And that question, it kind of it hurts my head. Why should the right to freedom of speech trump the right not to be offended? Because the freedom of speech is in the Constitution.
Yeah.
That's why.
And because here's the thing, popular speech does not need to be protected. It doesn't need like a First
No.
Amendment. A First Amendment is there to protect unpopular speech, things that will offend you, and people say you can't say that. That's the reason it's there.
Right.
Like
And
there was a philosophy thing that just happened, and there was a project, and I watched this video from a guy in the class. He talked about free speech, and he said something about like, if people don't respect you, then you don't have to. Freedom of speech does not protect their opinion. Like they're saying very vulgar things, and we had to respond to the video. So I responded like, other than the rest of your video, I agree with. But the thing is, I disagree. I think even hate speech is free speech, even if it's beyond vulgar. Because the thing I said to him was, you make the argument like you have to respect people, because if you don't, why would they respect you? Well, respect you have to earn. Okay, regardless of why that person doesn't respect you, whether it be the color of your skin, your sexual orientation, whatever, they just don't respect you. And maybe you won't be able to change their mind, but they don't have to be nice.
Right.
And you can say facts and list off good things with freedom of speech and not be nice about it.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom of speech does not mean you have to be the nicest person and explain to somebody. You can be as rude as you want. Rudeness doesn't mean you're wrong.
Right. And so basically he sits on this panel with Bill Maher, and he kind of explains his side, and he blames all of this, like, he gets challenged by this one CBS reporter that's also on the panel, and she's a liberal, and she kind of calls him out, and he's like,
Oh
no.
no, she's totally conservative.
Is she?
Oh,
No, she's.
I wish we were filming it so you could see the look on Zach's
Do you
face.
know what fucking sarcasm is?
Yes, I do.
Do you think I gotta pull up my ass?
Yes, I do.
The fuck?
Oh no.
So he's like, no, I have an issue with identity politics, and so do we. I think most of us here have an issue with identity politics, and that's what I was talking to you about when it comes to, like, when we have this campus stuff like unity in the community. That's identity politics right there.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
not
was part of that.
maybe not at heart, but like that's what the basis of identity politics is going on when we have this thing where it's like everybody's going to be from different ethnics and backgrounds and genders and beliefs. You should come join us.
Yeah. And the problem
part of
is
that
that they
committee.
fucking.
Why are you really?
Not like the whole thing. I'm part of the ICC, which is what like named it. Like we voted on the name. I was like, whatever. Unity in the community has a good ring to it. I don't know what they took.
It
where they
does.
Took it afterwards.
It's a
I don't know what they
great
took it with afterwards. I didn't care. I didn't know. I went
marketing
home.
wise, sure. The point of it,
Well, I don't understand why they always fucking do these things, and they're like basically pointing out all the shit they always tell you don't point that out.
yeah.
The fuck?
It's like they tell you to be
But-
proud of it until it's time to be, nice to each other. I don't know.
And you were talking about earlier before Phil came, Jordan Peterson has the same thinking where he's like, you should totally blame these universities who are pushing these left-wing ideas to this generation who will basically take anything they can get
Yeah.
and spew it all over the place.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, a while back, remember there was that fucking what school in California did that?
Evergreen something.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they said like there was no white people that day. They
Yeah.
didn't want any
Yeah.
white people,
Yeah, I know what you're
professors
talking
and
about.
students.
I think it was Evergreen something. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was like Evergreen College or something.
Yeah, something like that. Because I know my cousin goes to Evergreen High School over in Evergreen. So
I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that has gone untalked about. I mean, that happened like probably last year or something
I mean,
like
it,
that. It's unfucking believable that was even
that guy got
a
fired.
thing.
The guy
fucking
who,
guy
Brett,
that stayed.
I think his name
yeah.
is Brett McDermott or something. He
He
got
went
fired.
on. He went
on Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
He was on Joe Rogan a couple.
podcast.
He was on Joe Rogan with Peterson.
Yeah, he was.
Him and
I
Peterson
think
did
so.
a him,
Yeah.
Rogan and Peterson did a
Damn,
podcast, and they
that's
talked
a big
about it.
one.
And yeah, it was a good one too. I like that
Jordan Peterson's been on his podcast
a
like,
lot.
a few times.
3
Yeah.
or 4 times, I think.
Ben Shapiro's only been on like I think once or twice.
But like
Yeah.
this is Jordan Peterson again is a liberal who's pushing this realist idea, and that's what people should be doing. They should be not saying like all of this like again like you said like fuck kumbaya
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's just not realistic, and it's especially not realistic if you're trying to say go colorblind. But look, we're gonna tell you when we invite different backgrounds to a certain event.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to tell us that if it doesn't matter? If
Yeah.
you're trying to make it not matter to the world, why do you need to tell us that we're all gonna be in the same room at this event?
Let me ask you something though. You're Irish and Mexican. Now
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a lot of Mexican pride going on, but I definitely know Irish people, Irish families especially. I mean, you're from Irish, fucking.
My
right?
dad's from
Yeah.
Ireland.
You're 100% right.
Probably close to that. Yeah, my mom's pretty
I mean,
Irish too.
Does your family have? I mean, you can answer this too. I just forgot
yeah.
that he's super Irish. But
Been to the continent.
fucking-
Island continent.
does your family really have like an Irish pride?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's not blasted all over the place and all that, but we're
Yeah.
definitely very proud of where we come from. Like my dad will have like Irish breakfasts every now and then and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Just like cook them up. Go to
So
the store, grab 'em.
it's like deliberately worked in your life.
Yeah, I mean I'm Irish. I mean,
Right.
what am I supposed to do? Like just I remember I had one guy.
No.
It was funny. Just a day ago, there was a guy at the MMA gym I was training with. He was just messing with me. He's like, he's foreign. He's like, you're not Irish. You're American. I'm like, what are you? Go away. Like leave me alone. Like he's just messing with me. But I'm like, I'm Irish. I've been to the island multiple times. I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
America is literally just a country of immigrants. Unless you're Native American, which is pretty fucking far and in between now, you're not really American.
Yeah. But what I wanted to ask, so you do obviously have pride. I kind of figured that because most.
Of course, everybody should have pride
yeah.
where they come from. It should,
But
regardless of anything.
What I was gonna say though, if there wasn't that pride within each, in particular, like race or nationality, do you think that would cause less separation, or do you think that would cause more of a stir? Because in my opinion, there's something that really, I don't think it really affects you, but like for say like minorities that they consider like Arabs and African Americans and Mexicans and whatever.
Well, look,
Hold on. But what I wanted to say is, do you think that if there wasn't this whole kind of thing of pride and had the liberals support that kind of ideology of that, do you think that these people would be more oppressed, or do you think that we would be more unity in the community?
Well, are you asking if
I'm asking if you
pride
think
went
pride
away?
is a positive, has more of a positive.
So you're saying
or
you're asking if
negative effect,
nationalism is positive or negative, basically.
basically.
Okay.
Okay, so right now, in the world right now, people are attaching themselves to their ethnicities more than ever.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's kind of a fake attachment. I
Yeah.
think they're just trying to point it out for like show, but they're not really like truly like I'm proud of it, because I don't really think, I mean, when it comes to like Arabic Americans or other foreigners of that who come from like Europe and stuff over there, I think they do know about their heritage, because especially where we live, they usually originate from there. Like there's a lot of people who go to this school that have lived in their countries first. It's not like you where your grandparents lived there and then they had you here. A lot of people who come to this school have originated from their countries to come to school in America.
Yeah.
So I do believe that they know their culture, but there are people in the world that like to push like, hey, I'm this or I'm that, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
But they don't really know what their heritage
They
is
don't know what they're
about.
talking about.
They just want to feel that moral high ground
Yeah.
of being from somewhere. And that, again, goes with identity politics.
Yeah.
They want to identify themselves with something and push that on others. So it's kind of a win-loss situation when it comes to pride, because I do think having pride in your background is a great thing, and it's a great thing for people to have because that's what makes individuality and uniqueness. But the way it's being pushed, especially from the left, is it's just separating. Like,
Yeah.
this guy is from this place, and he comes from this background, and you come from this place, and you come from this background, and let's point that out, and let's show everybody, when at the same time we're not even supposed to talk about it necessarily, to the left's idea that we're all supposed to be, like, accepting no matter where you come from. So, I mean, it's right now in this world, it's a win-loss situation when it comes to pride of culture.
So you think that it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if it wasn't here,
It's not a bad thing, but the way it's being portrayed today, it's a
it's
bad thing.
being overdone
yeah,
as an
like,
identity thing.
In
Yeah.
Europe, for example, like a lot of European countries are letting a lot of immigrants in, just open borders, and a lot of criminals are coming over, like in Germany, and they're raping people, and they're doing awful things. Like, there's been a lot of terrorist attacks, of course, that we've seen. I mean, and the German government's like, well, we need to just be accepting of everyone. It's like, no, something's wrong. You guys can't just let everybody in just because we're equal. We're not all.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like letting a bunch of North Koreans in that like escaped. Oh, just let them in. Don't monitor them at all. Like,
And
these people have been fucking brainwashed to hate Americans. You think they're not going to go nuts on us every once in a while?
that's a huge side problem for me, because it's like the DACA program, I'm for that, because most of these people under the DACA program were children, or they weren't old enough to make their own thoughts or have their own say. So I'm not going to put that on them. But when you're telling Congress and government and the president to just open the borders and let's be happy and let's accept everybody for who they are, we're not all good people, okay?
No.
Like,
It's not
America has a lot of problems just with Americans. So if we're just going to let people from other countries in willy-nilly, like, and just not care and have it done illegally, because that's not what our laws say.
Yeah.
That's just to be happy and to beat out, like, so-called racism of.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying racism doesn't exist. Of course it exists. But just, like, to say that would eliminate racism just to accept everybody, that's wrong, and it's dangerous. And it's dangerous to think that that's a solution. Because, no, you're letting underprivileged people in. And, yes, they should have the opportunity. People should have the opportunity to get out of there.
Of course.
But underprivileged people will go farther and do more dangerous things to get out of that hole.
And not all beliefs are equal. Like, not all countries, like, the whole world's not like the United States. We're very open here. Like, a lot of countries, especially in the Middle East, are very unaccepting of certain people and
Yeah.
things like that. So, I mean, you bring them over here, then they see, gay flags and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, what's going to happen? And the same thing if you drop, Europeans in another country, I mean, people talk about how, Europeans are dropping, all these people are shitheads. Well, I mean, when they're fucking throwing people off of roofs and shit for their sexual orientation.
If people want to
maybe you got a
live
point.
the American dream or the American way of life, they have to have a belief in what we
American.
believe in.
You got to become American, honestly.
Right,
It's true,
and
'cause nationalism
That's why becoming a
keeps your country
citizen
alive.
even exists. That's why citizenship even exists, because you go through the test, you study the Constitution, you study the language, you study the history, and you learn about us, and you accept it. If you want to become a citizen, you go through all that to learn and understand and to accept.
Yeah.
And if you just come over here illegally, you're having the same beliefs that you do. Then you come over here and you see a different way of life and you don't understand it. You're going to react or have prejudices because you have a certain beliefs because you came from before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people say, well, we put all these, foreigners in ghettos and we stick them in, like, no, a lot of them go towards, like, you know, like Chinatown. Chinese people want to go to Chinatown.
Right.
It's where the culture is, and they probably don't speak a lot of English when they arrive. So go there, learn English, and be around people that speak the language rather than you being confused and lost the whole way, you know?
I know where we live right now, it is super segregated. You have neighborhoods where it's dominantly European culture. You have neighborhoods where it's dominantly Arabic.
Yeah.
You have neighborhoods where it's the typical American white families. You have, I mean,
well, you know, it's even weird too, because like from my neighborhood, it's like streets. It's like one street would be like all Arabs, another street would be like all Polish, another street would be all Lithuanian, and then like down my block, it's like all Polish.
That's just how it
and
is.
you just go down the street and it's the Arab.
I mean,
it's crazy.
I know this neighborhood by my mom's work that is just, there's a mosque and everything around it is just an Arab. It's Arabs.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing.
No.
Be around who you like. Live around. That's kind of how we've always lived. We've kind of, I mean,
it's to
why
feel
should you
comfortable.
right? Why should you put yourself in somewhere that you don't feel comfortable?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to eliminate things, I mean, that's a way to start. But at the same time, I mean, of course, I want to live around people that I can relate with. I mean, why wouldn't you? You know, people don't really know their neighbors anymore. But one way to know your neighbors is to relate to them. And if relating with them on background is one thing to do, then it is what it is. But, I mean, moving on from that, Jordan Peterson, he also has this idea that what liberals are doing is they're securing people by protecting them from what they don't want to hear, and that's bad because that's where reality becomes fantasy, and that's kind of what the left is pushing because everything's about PC and protecting the underprivileged or the smaller voices, and that's dangerous because the only way you can kind of become stronger and like take things is to hear it and take it full frontal. But if you're protecting people, when they hear it, they're gonna be hurt and scared. And why do we want to grow people in such a way where like, oh no, don't go over there. You're gonna hurt because of something he said. There's not gonna be free speech anymore. It's just gonna become politically correct speech.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's dangerous.
Not good.
Bad, Zach. It's bad. It's bad. So, as I was looking into this, I found this woman. I showed you the clip.
I was about to say we should go to the video you showed me.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Candice Owens?
Don't think so.
Okay, so Candice Owens
Wait, is she the Cash Me Outside chick?
No.
No.
Candice Owens is a lot smarter than her. Like, just saying one word.
Oh, okay.
Smarter. So Candice Owens is a person who she's a communications director for Turning Point USA, and she's basically saying that right now the world's is pushing an ideological civil war, and that's not wrong. Everything is about ideology, and again going back to political or identity politics. So Phil and audience, gonna play you this clip as soon as I find it of Candice Owens talking about this ideology civil war.
What you're seeing happening today, obviously we have some black people that are just shouting in the back. We have some black people that are sitting in the front quietly that are chanting USA and having a normal conversation. I love that because what I say every single time, and you may have seen me on the news, is that what is happening right now in the black community, you're going to hear it in this room first. There is an ideological civil war happening. Black people that are focused on their past and shouting about slavery, and black people that are focused on their futures, okay? That's really what it comes down to, okay? I can guarantee you what you're seeing happening is victim mentality versus victor mentality. And I promise you, the people here are going to win.
I love that.
And there's no doubt in my mind. I can tell you right now who is going to be better off when we look 20 years and we look at the faces in this room. Who is going to be better off are the girls that are sitting right here and across this room because they don't have your mentality. Victim mentality is not cool. I don't know why people like being oppressed. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I love oppression. We're oppressed. 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, which by the way, none of you guys lived through. Your grandparents did. And it's embarrassing that you utilize their history. You utilize their history and you come in here with more emotion than they ever had when they were living through it. it. More emotion than they ever had when they were living through it. It's embarrassing. You're not living through anything right now. You're overly privileged Americans.
What do you think about that, Phil?
She's not wrong.
The-
She's absolutely not wrong.
No,
mean,
I-
that goes for everybody.
I
not just
believe-
African-Americans, but that goes for everybody. Everybody seems to want to immediately put themselves down and go, "I'm oppressed. Someone needs to come save me." It's like, why the fuck do you want someone to come save you? Save yourself.
Right, at least try to save yourself. And if you
fuck are
need
you
some
doing?
support along the way, believe me, I'm sure there are people happy
I'm
to
sure there
support
will
you.
be, yeah.
But to be like, I'm a victim because of something that happened many years ago when I was
You
just
should feel sorry about
a
what you did to
sperm
my.
cell.
You should feel sorry about what you did to my great great granddaddy. First of all, I don't even know who the fuck my great great grandparents were.
Look,
I don't know
and
what the fuck they did. I don't care what they did. That doesn't affect me.
So
Like, people don't understand that. Like, what happened 200 years ago? It doesn't matter if you're the daughter of fucking Hitler. What he did does not.
here's the argument that I can try to understand. Is it being oppressed and being a victim because of something that they didn't live through and because they just want something to grasp onto, or is it fighting for their family's past? Like, if something happened to your family, to your family line that you weren't around for, would you kind of fight to defend the wrongdoing?
I mean, no one's erasing it. No one's erasing slavery. No one's going and wiping it away. No one's
And
doing
saying
that.
it didn't matter.
No one's saying that. I don't
Right.
think. I think now we're much more against that, and it's a good thing to be saying. I mean, no one's just wiping the slate clean and going, slavery didn't matter. I mean, no one's saying that, so I don't understand why they get so butthurt. I mean, they try to go, well, my family was oppressed for, like, you're not oppressed now.
Yeah, but it's different. We changed those laws.
We-
We made
who's
it
we?
better.
Like, they don't understand. White people help too. Like, without the support of many white people in the government at that time, there wouldn't have been a civil war.
Right.
I mean, a lot of white people died to free slavery. Now, did we still have a long ways to go after that? Of course. But it wasn't just black people all of a sudden. I mean, if it was just a group of black people saying, well, we want our freedom, most people in Congress would have been like, no, fuck you. But when rich white people with influence said, you know what, I feel dirty doing this, I want to change the way things are, that's when they started going, okay, maybe this is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just, it's all of us. We all come together and we all help each other out.
Yeah.
That's what they're forgetting. It's not just we all stand on our one foot and we bring ourselves
And
up. We all stand together. We lean on each other.
They who want equal opportunity and the color blindness are like, but the white people,
Yeah.
they can be a separate issue.
Yeah,
you know?
they're on their own.
They can go over
shit,
there.
Aren't we? White people are predicted to be a fucking minority in a couple decades to Hispanics. Hispanics are going to take over. We're going to be like 40% of the population, which I don't give a damn about because if it happens naturally and it's just birth rates, fuck it. Who cares? I don't care. I really don't. Like, if it's just people being born and all that, who cares? That's just the way it is. That's how it happens. So what? Who knows? That might not even stay. Maybe South America will get a lot better, and maybe Europe will have another fucking war, and then a bunch of immigrants will come over. You never know.
Zach?
Yeah, I don't know. See, like, I don't even know if it's like a family thing. I think it's just a mentality that they've been brought up on through different generations and through the neighborhoods they've been through. And, I don't want to single out, just talk about black people, but they're definitely probably, I don't want to say they, but black communities and African Americans, especially liberal ones, which most of them are, it's just their politics leans more toward, I don't know how to explain it. Like with, okay, most African Americans, I would say, are part of the lower class than like other people, if that makes any sense. Like, if you think about Compton or you think about the South, fucking side of Chicago, we're talking about that kind of communities. They're definitely not fond of white people, but they won't consider that racism. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, like Phil, I hate to go back to Irish again, but fucking back in the day, Irish were fucking, treated like shit when they were first immigrating over here and fucking had a bunch of stupid shit happen to them. And then you have Chinese people who were fucking blown the fuck up in railroads. Like when they were putting tunnels in for, you had a bunch of accidents with that.
They just strap dynamite to them and send them in tunnels and say, all right, go blow up.
They were paid shitty wages and all that shit, but you don't hear anything from those fucking people. Nothing. And like I said, it's a touchy topic. It's hard to talk about, but if anything, it's dumb. Because look, it's like what he said. We're not saying that fucking slavery didn't happen. obviously nobody's fucking saying that. I mean, you know, that's someone as stupid as a Holocaust denier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking serious? You want to tell me that pile of shoes came out of someone's fucking ass? You want to tell me there was this chair and table made out of skin? Because fucking, I mean,
Look
people
at all
are
this
so
fucking hair. Where do you think all this fucking hair came from? I mean,
Yeah, people are so fucking
and
stupid.
people trying to tell, oh, the number's inflated. I don't think it's fucking inflated at all.
No.
Yeah. And you know,
Morons.
in all honesty, I shouldn't even say people are so fucking stupid. Because in all honesty, this could go back to a pride thing. Because this is what I did want to touch on. I like the idea of pride, but when it's presidented in some way where there's a benefit for that pride. You know what I'm talking about? Like, if someone just says, I'm proud to be black. See, I don't think there's something wrong with that. I just think that if you're going to say that you're proud to be black, and then you're going to see some guy, and I know that obviously white pride is associated with racist, but what if some guy was proud to be white? That black guy would 100% consider that guy a psycho, consider him a racist. It's fucking crazy.
Completely
I think,
true.
And in all honesty, I get it that the fucking white people in history have been kind of the ones taking over shit, and we were considered, you know, some of the most privileged. But at the same time, I mean, we were talking about this earlier. No matter what fucking nationality you are, there's donkeys, there's ponies, there's unicorns. It doesn't matter, you know. And sometimes those donkeys say that they're unicorns. Sometimes those unicorns even might say they're donkeys. You don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people. I'm getting a little riled up because I talk about this shit with my dad all the time. But anyways, just if I really
Just don't call me or Phil dad.
if I really had to say like an opinion on like what African Americans, just people in general that are considering that I don't even know. Like, I mean, would you say that they're trying to have African Americans, blacks in general, just have more privilege because of their past? I mean, I would say nowadays we're just considering it like, oh yeah, these people got fucked in the past, and even though we had nothing to do with it, like my ancestors didn't have any slaves. My ancestors were all in Europe when all this shit was going down.
Mm-hmm.
No part of it. But because I'm white, black people will still blame me for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They'll still blame me for it.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, when I grew up in my fucking neighborhood, there was all white people, and I won't lie, there was definitely shit said on the daily that I heard that was like, that's pretty fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was growing up, it didn't mean anything to me. I was like, okay, that's just what they think of blacks.
Right.
You know? I mean, that's it, you know? But there was black kids and Arabs and a bunch of different stuff at my grade school, and it didn't matter to me. And like I'm not racist. I don't have any hate against any culture. You know, it's fine. I don't care. All these people, I don't think are even really stupid when they talk about it like that. They've been brought up on this. See, this is what I was talking about. Like, pride is a good and bad thing because they've been brought up on this. We're black. We have pride for it. But these fucking people, it doesn't matter if they didn't have anything to do with it. Their fucking people fucked our people.
That's what I was saying earlier. I said it's good to have that pride. It's just bad because it's being pushed in this direction where it's like only this.
Here's what that pride led to in the 50s and the 60s. Pride led to them sitting down in white restaurants and letting people beat the shit out of them and saying, you know what, I'm better than you. I don't need to beat your ass. And they let them get their shit kicked out of them. Nowadays, it's just, you know what, cut his tongue out. Silence him. Keep him quiet. We don't want to hear what he has to say. I mean, that's how they did. They got sympathy. Okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm a human being too. And then they didn't treat you like a human being. It made so many people uncomfortable. They said, you know what, fuck this. This is wrong.
Are we in a consensus that it is a realist mentality to see that minorities do have more obstacles than the average white person?
I've never denied that.
I've never denied that either.
I think there are definitely issues, but I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
Now, for anybody, I feel like we're really getting forward, but are we getting forward quick enough? Maybe not, but we're getting there.
Is it getting worse with this victim mentality? Like, are the obstacle? I don't even think the obstacles that these people have to jump through are changing. I think the victim mentality is just making them seem worse than they actually are.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So I think there are obstacles. I don't deny that for minorities. I just think the victim mentality is telling
I
them
don't
that
even know
they're
if you
so
can agree
big.
with that though, because like I mean, who was our last president for 8 years? An African American man.
Yeah.
It's like we're oppressed. He looks really fucking oppressed up there as the most powerful.
$400,000 a year, his own private plane to
as
go
the most
wherever he
powerful
wants.
man in the free world.
People protecting
I mean, it
him
just
every
doesn't make
step
sense.
of the
Of course,
way.
there were racists that came out and said stuff, but I mean, he still got there twice. It's like the second time around, people still said, "Yeah, he's good enough. Let's put him in there."
If I was old, I'll tell you right now, if I was old enough to vote in either of the elections, I would have voted for him.
I probably would have voted for Obama too.
I would have voted for him.
don't care.
He was a Democrat. I do lean right, and I did vote right in this last election. But that's not. I don't vote right just because
It's
I
right.
I
You vote who you think will do the
I
best
vote
job.
who is gonna bring this country into a better place.
Who's against him in both his primaries?
Well,
The
there
first
was
one-
John
first one,
McCain
John McCain and Mitt Romney.
and then Mitt
and Mitt
second one,
Romney. Yeah.
Mitt.
Mitt. Good old Mitt.
But
What kind of fucking name is Mitt?
Mitney.
he's a Mormon.
I don't know.
Fuck that guy.
He went to a
fucking
Utah
Mormon.
Jazz game the other day.
Mormons are fucking spooky.
Fucking Utah.
Mormons are spooky motherfuckers. I'll tell you that. Polygamous people.
We should have a round table with a Mormon and
Jew.
a Jew,
and a Christian and see what happens.
a Christian.
So what do you guys think
an
about marriage?
atheist.
I don't know Jews.
Phil said it. I repeated it.
Jewish person. A Jew.
Okay.
A Jew from Brooklyn.
No, we can have Mitt Romney, Ben Shapiro,
He's a Jew.
Lewis,
Oh no.
my friend
Oh
Lewis.
yeah, I know. I know.
And,
what
and
did,
you.
What did I call him the other day?
I don't know.
I called him in that with confidence too.
You called
'cause
him
I
a
thought-
slur, I'm guessing.
No, I
Okay.
forgot his name.
Jesus, Jose. I don't know.
Richard.
Oh, Richard.
I
You
legit.
called him a dick.
I fucking saw him, and I'm just like Richard.
Why does everybody keep staring?
And then he's like, "What's his name?"
When I was like,
I do that a lot too when I haven't seen people in a while.
Yeah.
No, I feel bad because I'm so fucking bad with names. Like, you know what's weird? I can forget so many fucking people's names that I talk to. But like, if you have a hot chick in your class, you'll remember her name. It doesn't matter how
Yeah,
many
you'll
classes.
remember that chick.
Probably because you've had
forever.
one or more fantasies.
It
after
doesn't.
that
It
class.
doesn't. It doesn't fucking. But it's weird too, because like even if you're not like into her, it's like somehow. So if you hear the person's name once, you remember it. That's it.
Yeah.
Although I when we go to all our classes, I probably know like 5 or 6 names. Like out of all.
I
of them.
probably know less.
Out of all of them.
Out of our journalism class, I think
I'm not gonna start naming people.
Yeah.
But I
out of our journalism class specifically, I think I can name. I can only name like a handful of people because there are a lot of people who are in that class that are also in Delwyn's class.
there's only 2, right? Oh no, 3.
There's 3.
3, and I think I know their names. Jack. I know.
I'm not gonna start naming names. So let me start naming names.
And then what's the other one?
Renata.
Yeah.
And then there's me and you. There's 5 of us in that class that are also in another class on a whole separate day.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't, which is kind
I
of
mean,
weird.
we've had people from other classes in our
Yeah.
class, but not like
Yeah.
a whole handful.
Yeah, no, now that you mentioned it, I never really thought about it
Yeah.
like that, yeah. Because, like, well, it's funny, 'cause I think I've seen Jack in journalism, but then, like, it didn't really hit me till, like, however long ago we, like, saw him, and we're like, let's steal his seat.
Yeah, because I'm like, no, we're cool with that dude now.
Yeah, no, you know, see, that's what I hate about us, is that we, like, I try so hard not to be judgmental, but, like, if I look at somebody, there's always a thought that comes to my head. I'm like, look at this fucko. Like, come on. Like, well, there's this asshole that walks by every day in the same goddamn blue sweatshirt, and we just came up with a name for him now. Blue Balls. Fucking Blue Balls.
Oh,
And,
no.
in all honesty, he's probably a nice guy. He seems harmless.
I'm sure he's a gentle
He
chap.
seems, but he's. You get scared when you see
No,
a guy who
you
smiles
see
all the
him- You see
time.
him smile, and it's like, what are you thinking about? You think you ready to suck dick or something, or what? What are you thinking about? What's that
Because
smile for?
most of the time when he walks by, he's alone.
Yeah, you know, what you
He's
smiling
lonely.
about?
He's trying
What'd
to
you
get some
hear?
friends.
Yeah.
I just imagine he's got that fucking, you know, I like big butts. Just playing in his head. He's like, I do like big butts.
Who doesn't?
I do.
That's what he's thinking about.
I agree.
Oh,
Yeah, see, and we could be friends with that guy. Blue Balls. We could even call him that. We could be like, "Hey, this is the story." We were
Before,
blue balls.
for the last year, we've been judging you every time we've seen you, but now we're friends, so it's okay.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem me and you have. Like, it's just we just go off on people, and then we'll talk to them one time. It's like, that person's not bad.
Now, Jack, if you're listening to this,
I don't think he is.
we didn't judge you at all. There was just a part at the
assumed
beginning
your
of the
gender.
semester
You
where
fucking took our seats on Friday. If you fucking take it today, I'm gonna be pissed. In the fucking computer room,
lab.
in lab,
Who says computer room?
whatever. Fucking took our seats 3 times. Not
You
acceptable.
don't just take a man's seats.
You don't fucking take people's seats.
You don't take a man's
But
seats. You can
do
take his
you
woman, not his
remember if we
seats.
took his first?
We sat there first. It's our fucking seats.
We're
Is he
still
on-
cool, Jack. It's all
Yeah,
right.
we're cool. I know.
For
I just,
now.
I wouldn't even say this to your face. But this
That makes it
this
worse
is-
because you just
this
went on
is
a
in
5-minute
the
rant on
possibility
him.
that you're listening to this. I just want you to know my real emotion.
Not to your face.
We're true.
The
Yeah.
truth will set you free.
So we got about 5 minutes left.
All right.
About.
Yeah, just about.
Before we start,
didn't
gotta
take I guess we didn't need to take a break.
No, we're
We
way
paused it.
past break time. No Frank, I guess today. I mean, you
No,
could
we-
try to
we
call
can
him.
Call him really quick.
Yeah.
You were here when we called him, right?
Yeah, for the 50th.
Yeah. We just want to call him because he had a court date, and I don't know if he's gonna.
Well, I wouldn't call him then.
Here. Well, I want to ask him.
I mean, I
Why
can
don't
always.
they're
I-
allowed to even
about
have their
talking
phones
about
when they got
with
a
it.
court date?
I don't know. I
Alright,
can. I
so-
can just redact.
I'm guessing it's not jury duty.
No.
Okay. When you say court date, you didn't say jury duty, so I assumed.
Yo, what's up, dude? Right now we're doing the podcast. Would you mind if we talk to you about some stuff really quick?
Yeah, what's good?
Well, I don't know if you're comfortable about talking about this, but I saw on Snapchat that you had a court date.
Yeah.
What was that for?
Wait, am I on speaker?
Yeah.
Oh, who in the room right now?
We're doing the podcast, Frank.
It's me. Hello.
Oh, this is you two and nobody else?
Yeah.
Well, it's also we're on the podcast.
I mean,
So technically it's me, Tyler, and then like the 14 people that are gonna listen to this.
The 14 people?
that are gonna listen to the podcast.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, are you comfortable about talking about it?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay, so what happened?
Man, fuck the system, nigga. Fuck the cops. Fuck the system. Fuck everything. You know what I'm saying? And shit, they wanna give me hella tickets because I got into 2 accidents in 1 week, bro. I fucked up.
Is your car still
sorry.
alive?
I don't even know, bro. It's fucked up.
when you say
Like
a pile of tickets, how many?
like a total of 8 tickets, bro.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Motherfuckers, I'm out here, I'm lawyered up, and I'm ready to go. You know, I get my lawyer because they was talking about they might suspend my license. They was talking about all them tickets might fuck up my record. I was like, bro, I need to get a fucking lawyer immediately. You feel me?
I feel you. So is all that shit done?
Not technically. Now I beat my first case, but the second case they want to hit me with a 250 court fee, and
250
I gotta
what?
Go to 4-hour driving school.
I do a court fee.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
And 4 hours of driving
Yeah,
school.
what was that court fee for? For just going to court?
Yeah, because if I was to beat all the tickets and all the cases, I wouldn't have to pay for that. But since that had happened for my second court date, I gotta pay a fee.
All right.
They some assholes.
So we're gonna summon you to court, but you also have to pay to be here.
Can you let me and Tyler know the next time you're going to court so we can go and go to your case
And protest?
protest?
Nah. Fuck.
You don't want some moral support? We can be your lawyers.
Yeah, we could be your lawyers, dude.
We can co-op here.
Nigga,
Yeah.
y'all are gonna give me in 10 years, bro.
Yeah, they'll fucking be like, so you're not gonna, you're here for a ticket, not for jail time, and then we would go. You can give you 25 flat.
Okay.
Look.
What's the word around town? What's the word around the valley, bro?
The valley?
The valley? Moron Valley?
Valley. Yeah, bro. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
True.
Are you ever gonna come here?
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to come this semester.
Bro, next semester.
Like,
Did you even sign up for classes yet? Is your classes for next semester yet?
priority registration is in 4 days.
I'm talking about
3 days.
next. I'm talking about September. August or whatever you want to do. College.
August.
Yeah, so priority registration is in 4 days.
What?
Which means that you can sign up for your classes starting in 4 days. Because you want to sign up for them right away so you don't fucking get stuck with some shit.
True.
So, did you just wake up?
Nah. Somewhat. Low key.
What does that even mean?
What? Did you wake up and then you were just lying down in your bed?
You're like,
Yeah, I'm like lying down right now talking to y'all homos.
okay.
Fuck with y'all.
All right, well, that's all I really wanted. Oh, actually, hold on. I wanted to ask you what was your full? I want to know how you actually reacted when I told you that Tyler died, or he got shot.
Shit, my heart started racing. I was like, what the fuck? I thought, yeah, bro. I take that shit serious as hell, bro. That's not a game to me.
I couldn't believe that you believed me, though. I mean, did you really think that was going to be that fucking true?
How many calls did you make?
I'm honestly shocked that I believed you myself, to be honest.
How many calls did you make in that split second to organize your fiasco?
I did it. I mean, I was plotting though. I was in my head. I was like, damn, something has to happen now.
Yeah.
Something has to happen.
Don't say any names, by the way. Don't say any names.
Huh?
Don't say any names.
Don't say any names. Don't say any orgs. No, none.
What?
Nah, bro. I ain't no snitch, bro.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, but you didn't believe what I said to you yesterday when I said his body was being sent out into space?
No.
Tyler, is your body being sent out to space?
I'll be there by Monday.
He'll be there by Monday.
He'll probably be in Arizona.
No, he's not. Tyler's actually doing one more semester here next semester.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you should come for his last
There's some lonely children
During
outside.
summer, after summer.
Well,
both.
I'm taking one class in the summer and then taking 2 next fall.
Yeah.
True. You know who Preston wants to get on your podcast, bro.
Preston? Garvey?
Yes, is that his last name?
He's like one of your best fucking friends.
Bro, I don't know his last name. I never did, bro. I swear to God.
You just thought his full name was Preston?
Nah, but I just never really asked
No,
him. Bro.
his last name is Morgmeyer.
Oh. Wow, I did not know that, to be honest. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it is.
So make sure next time you call him by his full name so he knows that you're a true friend.
He knows that you're a bro, not a hoe.
Yeah, I guess. He'd be cool and though. He got a whole wife and everything and his own crib and everything, bro.
Wow.
And
what's he doing for a job?
Oh, he's a janitor. I'm sorry. Bro, he fucked up, bro. But he had a decent job, bro. He had a job being a supervisor at UPS, and he fucked that up.
Oh, okay.
He just decided not to show up for 3 weeks. I was like, bro, why'd you do that?
Did he go back on week number 4?
Yeah.
Huh?
Did he go back on week number 4?
No.
Then he didn't take 3 weeks off. He just quit.
Honestly, I don't know what he did. That's what he told me. He said I didn't show up for 3 weeks, and then he's like, "Damn, man, I really regret it, man." I was like, "Oh, I really regret it, man. Well, I hope I can get back in." Like, bro, once you are a supervisor and you quit, bro, it's hard to get back into UPS, bro. It's one thing when you're just a package handler, but it's another thing when you're a supervisor.
Yeah, because package handler, you can just jerk off all day.
Yeah, package handling kind of fucking sucks, bro. I worked at UPS for like 10 months. That shit blows.
Literally.
All right, well, I think we're gonna have to let you go. It's nice talking to you. This is the actual
let me
episode
shout out
50.
real quick. Let me shout out, nigga.
All right. Okay.
Alright, add me on Snapchat. Frank Perez, IV4. Shout out to Little Village. Shout out to King Key. Shout out to Pilsen / 18th Street. And yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right, goodbye.
Alright, peace out.
Why?
Well, that was a treat for you guys. Our boy from Little Village.
/Pilsen /18th Street Kankakee. All right.
Yeah.
So, Phil, thanks for showing up.
Thanks for letting me just walk in
Yeah, as always.
once again.
Everything that we talked about will be linked in down below.
And it'll be the result that we never get jobs in the future.
Yes.
Basically.
Social media will be down below. Make sure to follow us and like us and subscribe and do whatever. We'll be back.
Do it right, meow.
Yep. We'll be back next week. Thanks for listening.
All right, goodbye.